All right, guys, let's watch this video for Wednesday, April 3rd. I took a screenshot just because I had some arrows on there. Look at the SPY candle today and look at the volume. I mean, it actually traded in a bigger range and with more volume on Christmas Day last year. Crazy, crazy dead out there. And this is certainly an environment you don't want to overtrade, all right? Having said that, couple for those of you that didn't make it to chat today, some really nice stuff. Look at all the people that put out AVEO heads up as it was curling back up here. I love the teamwork in chat and ended up ripping right through that 130 level. Another example. Hey, when I show you guys these, it's because if you didn't make it to chat today, I try to make sure that, hey, you'll be there tomorrow, right? Riot, perfect morning gap play. Wayne called it probably on this candle when it was in the 460. Said, hey, over the microphone, I like this over 475, right? Whole numbers, half numbers, quarter numbers can be inflection points all by themselves. But when they coincide with the high of day break after sellers come in right here, sellers are in trouble. And it's a three-quarter, break of 475. Got a really quick move to, I think, 515. A great call by Wayne. And I wanted to share this afternoon. I'm trying to highlight some of the great teamwork in there because I certainly don't want anyone to ever think the chat room is all about me or Wayne. CVM, I was on the mic, I don't know, when it was around here or typing in, hey guys, CVM over 420. There's a seller there that's also a high of day break. And yesterday's high was right up here around 440-ish, right? A penny or two different maybe. And so I gave the idea, it rips, I get some thank yous, but I wanted to make sure, and this is why I wrote credit where credit's due. Buffalo put it on my radar, and you can see the timestamp. Buffalo spotted that seller and spotted that clean tape, and we already knew this had a big move yesterday. So anytime you get that, it's a very clean setup. But 100% of the credit goes to Buffalo on that one. And again, I love talking about the teamwork in there because it's the best I've ever seen. Hang on one second here. Okay, so let's get into what we're watching for tomorrow. Speaking of great calls, Jane gave the idea through 4 on EDAP also. I forgot to, Jane, if you're watching this, I apologize. I didn't include that highlight. I don't know anybody in the chat room that doesn't have Jane on their hot script list. If you don't have her on your hot script list, you should. Anyway, EDAP, very strong close, so I want to watch it again tomorrow, but it's certainly extended in the short term. Doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. SEEL, let me zoom in. So we had this gap up that failed, another gap up that failed, another gap up that failed, but it's kind of back down to support and starting to curl back up. If you look at it on an intraday basis, it did give kind of a nice move today from 304 to 322. I do not love this one. It's maybe my least favorite on the watch list, but because it's back at support and it closed green, I don't think there's anything wrong with watching it tomorrow. JMU with any good China news. This was a huge mover back here. Then about 4 days ago, it had a nice move. Then on Monday, a strong move right up to 2. And that actually, if I go to 15-minute candles, you can see that happened right at the end of the day. And then today just kind of did next to nothing. But I love this over the 2-day high. I love this through $2 now. You have 1, 2 potential catalysts just above. Again, with any China news, let's really kind of keep an eye on JMU. Speaking of China, PLAG. When the China names got big moves the other day, PLAG was one of them, but it round tripped and it's really starting to curl back up. So I do want to watch that one. ZYNE, huge move today for this one. I like this kind of cup and handle and flag, and I was watching it like a few days ago, right? It was on my watch list, and then I just quit watching it, and then today it did that. I know there were some people in here that posted some ideas. I didn't see them, but I saw, I think, Melissa thanking maybe Nathan Z? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I know some people in here were on this. I didn't check the chat logs. I completely missed this one, but it closed so strong that we got to watch that one tomorrow. CIFS after this big pop. Again, another China name, I believe. It's kind of flagging, so I want to watch that one. AVGR. I don't love this, but at the 2-day high, if it happens to get over this 2-day high of 105, then I think it might just take out this 110 and squeeze. It's kind of an obscure play, but I want to watch it. NM had this high, lower high, kind of sideways and starting to curl up. I really like it over 270 over today's high. I think you could then take out this 283, maybe head to 3 and maybe take this out. So it's a really clean chart setup, especially if shippers get moving. LEDS, I'm not a huge fan of this stock, but a little bit of extra volume today and kind of trying to break out of this 2 or 3 week range. I'm not sure if that one had news, and I don't love it, but we're going to keep our eyes on it anyway. CVM, that's that one I showed you that if you weren't in chat, Buffalo gave the heads up. I passed it along, and a really nice late day move there. It still looks good. You've got kind of a 2-day high right there, and then maybe 52-week highs above that. Yeah, those are weekly, so that would be 52-week highs above that. Let's see what this spike here hit 444. So 439 was yesterday, 439 basically today. So we'll see. I think it's worth having on watch. AYTU, this one's kind of obscure, but it had this gap up, came back down, and just straight sideways. And it looks like, well, never mind. There's nothing too compelling here. But I think this might break out of this range and then pop through to one of these days. It's got good support below. But after looking at it, I'm certainly not in love with it. I'm going to keep that on a chart, but I don't really have like a great looking high volume recent candle in the last week. If you guys know, I really want to focus on stuff that's had really high relative volume really within the last 5 sessions. And now going back to the big volume one, which actually got kind of slapped down, that's been a good couple of weeks. But because it's got support, kind of a recent high flyer, I'm going to watch it, all right? I don't sound very thrilled about that one, do I? MRNS, I was talking about this one the other day, and it's still kind of chopping sideways. Got 1, 2 potential catalysts above. Again, you don't really have any recent high relative volume. The only reason I noticed this today is because it got this big volume spike, which for this stock, that was a big intraday volume spike. And so as I saw that, I thought, you know what? I remember watching this chart the other day. I'm going to put it back on a chart for tomorrow. So that's it. I'm not in love with it. And the SORL with the gap up yesterday, sold off, but bounced intraday, gapped down a little bit, but had a pretty strong close. So this one is worth watching for a pop on Wednesday. And again, I think that's another China name. So let's keep our eyes on the China names and see if we get any kind of rally in those. That's enough, man. I've got plenty to watch, and the gappers, we've had a lot of gappers to watch lately. So let's really watch the clutter tomorrow morning and focus. And hopefully we have another fantastic day. All right, I'm done babbling. See you guys tomorrow.